This is brutal. Devils starting off shorthanded, which begs the question, how long? Major Devils injury news, implications, let's talk. Welcome, Devil fans. Glad you're here. Definitely want you sticking around, though. Hit the subscribe button. Season just under a week away, and we want you guys all here as we get underway against Carolina, looking for some revenge in that game. Looks like, though, Devils going to be a little bit short-handed for that game. Luke Hughes will not play tomorrow, not injury-related, but Seamus Casey looks like he's a bit away. Brett Pesce, still waiting on an update. Going to be evaluated, left the game last night, didn't play in the third period. Stefan Noesen not close yet to playing, and Nemec out for the near future. Okay, so let's start with the good news because that's a little bit more fun. Stefan Noesen was a full participant today at practice, so that is good news. How long is he going to be out? We don't know that, but the fact that he's practicing and was a full participant lets me lean on the side that we're heading in the right direction, that we're not in a situation where we're looking at Stefan Noesen out for the long term, for, months on end. We're just looking, cautioning it, watching it play out. I mean, is there a chance that he plays in Carolina? We'll have to wait and see on that, but it is good to see that he was a full participant at practice today, because we know Tom Fitzgerald has made it abundantly clear he's determined to fix the bottom six. It seems like he really likes that in the offseason. What he also likes to do in the offseason, though, is he really does like to build on his defense. He saw with the injuries and how much that can, dismantle a season and make it look not great, and especially on the defensive side. When you lose a bunch of defensemen, things don't go right. It hurts your goaltending. And when you're going to go trade a first-round pick and start another goaltender to a 5-year deal, you better make sure that you have a way to make their stats look the best they can. You need to go get a good defensive core. And when you're seeing players in your defense, like last year, and Jonas Siegenthaler missing time, and Dougie Hamilton missing time, and you saw that kind of affected the Devils as a whole. I mean, we saw them. They were a top 10 penalty killing unit, and then in the playoffs, 25th ranked Carolina power play did a pretty nice job against that second unit. So when you have things like that, and you want to build a good defense because you went out, you got your goaltender, and you're seeing players get injured, you want to have backups in place. And that's what Tom Fitzgerald has done. But, I've been critical of Tom Fitzgerald and how he's maybe handled the past two off seasons. I thought 3 years ago, he had a great offseason. I thought going out and getting Tyler Toffoli, building off a top offense, was exactly what they should have went and did. They should go with what their core is good at. They're a good goal-scoring team. They're good in the transitional game. Go get Tyler Toffoli. Go get somebody who's put up 70 points in this league, has scored 30 goals. I really like that. But the past two off seasons, Tom Fitzgerald has maybe gone in different directions than I would have went. Maybe I wouldn't have been so concerned with filling in my bottom six. And if maybe I was, I probably would go get a third-line center. So with what he's done so far and building this defense and making sure that he gives his goaltenders a chance to be a top 10 unit in the NHL, with the defense that they're going in with this season and with the injuries, I can't blame him. When you're looking at this season, how this season's going to start, you're looking at Johnathan Kovacevic out long term. Brett Pesce, we don't have a complete update on. And now we're looking at Seamus Casey out potentially long term. If you have those type of injuries, it's tough to build a defense around. And not only to mention that Luke Hughes just signed. And maybe that one you could go a little bit more back on and go, Tom Fitzgerald maybe should have caved in sooner. Well, you know what? I'll cut him some slack. It is a little bit different. Now, would I have went with my top 5 overall pick and made the bet that he's going to play pretty well and given him 7 years, $9 million, probably more in that early July area? Yeah, I would have. But I can't completely blame him for that. I mean, he did exactly what we asked for. We asked for a long-term extension. It was around $9 million. That's what we wound up at. Luke Hughes was happy with it. I can't, we're in an okay spot with that. But in terms of seeing guys like Brett Pesce and Seamus Casey go get injured right before the year starts, when you're already looking at Johnathan Kovacevic missing a ton of time, it's not an ideal situation. It's not something where, you can go and go, well, you know what, Tom Fitzgerald, you should have been prepared. Can't really prepare for injuries. I mean, you can prepare to an extent and go get, other players who can fill in, maybe, are playing a little bit under their position, and then they kind of fill into their position. Well, yeah, that's probably what they should have done at the forward group, gotten another top 6 player, but they didn't, and that's okay, or it's okay enough. But defensively, I mean, he's gone out here and he's gotten players in the offseason. He's drafted. I mean, his top picks are mostly defensemen. We think Luke Hughes, Simon Nemec, Artur Siliev. He goes defensive. He goes defenseman. But looking at what this group is going to look like going into the year, I mean, you definitely would have question marks. And I apologize. I should have said Antoine Siliev. But there are going to be, maybe doesn't look exactly how Tom Fitzgerald predicted. So who does step in when you're going to have a defense that's going to maybe not be complete, maybe not be perfect? Well, Ethan Edwards did have a great camp. And I know I came out here and I said, Sheldon Keefe talking about how good Ethan Edwards was. I mean, that's okay because he was good. He's not Luke Hughes. He's not a Luke Hughes replacement. And maybe they shouldn't have been talking about, him playing in the spot of Luke Hughes. I don't think completely that they were saying that this is a Luke Hughes replacement. He's as good as Luke Hughes. I think we all know it's not that. But if you're going to get some players only missing, the first 5 games of the season, and you feel okay with Ethan Edwards, I mean, that's probably your best position. I don't think you can go in an outlet trade and go make, a move for a defenseman if, you're looking at, the first, 10 games of the season. You're not going to go and make a trade, give up assets. I don't see that happening. Now, maybe you go on the waiver wire, make a move there, potentially. But Ethan Edwards did have a good camp. And I talked about how good Ethan Edwards played. So does Ethan Edwards get a position on this roster to start the season with the injuries? Because Seamus Casey sounds like that might be long-term. I mean, we don't have a ton on it, but if that's long-term, well, you're in a little bit of a different situation. Brett Pesce, it looks like maybe a little bit more in the short term now, I'm guessing. I mean, he didn't play in the third period last night. I haven't seen anything saying it's going to be a long-term injury. I mean, that one's really important because you look what they did. I mean, you give a player that long of a contract pretty much means that he's pretty important to your group. And I think we all know and saw how important Brett Pesce is to this group. So Brett Pesce, hopefully they all aren't out long-term, but it sounds like Seamus Casey might be a little bit longer. I don't think we've gotten there with Brett Pesce yet. But I think when you look at these injuries, are they hurtful? Yeah, they're hurtful. But you're not going to go make a trade. You're not going to go and, hit the panic button and go, well, you know what, we're injured. We need to go make a trade. We're not there yet. Okay? It's not a fun position to be in. It's not something that was good news. But we're in a position where we need to figure out who's going to fill into that role, and we got to find that internally. I mean, you go ahead, you draft your defenseman. You've made moves to create defensive depth. You've gotten them through trades. That's why you do it for situations like this. Short term, at least one of them, hopefully short term. So we'll see where they go from there. But let me know your thoughts down below. Do you want to see them go with Ethan Edwards? Does Cale Addison maybe find a way into this lineup? Let me know down below. Let me know in the comments. Hopefully hit the subscribe button. Great to have you guys here, and it'll be great to get the season underway because we are getting super close to the NHL season. Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you guys all really soon.